Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 106 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas, that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is going to really deliver many different twists and turns, as well as revelations in the film that's going to take fans by surprise and change how we view the past 8 Star Wars films. And what's great about all of this is that these past couple of days or so, over at D23, we learned a whole lot more about this movie, all thanks to J.J. Abrams answering many of the questions related to some of the main characters like Rey, Kylo, Palpatine, you name it. And what's really exciting is what JJ had to say about George Lucas and his involvement. Now, JJ states that having George Lucas on board was an exciting part for production of the film, and that JJ had an excellent time writing with him. JJ explains that if it weren't for George, Palpatine wouldn't have returned the way he did in the movie, and that he cannot wait for everyone to see the film. Additionally, JJ states that George Lucas provided some of his original ideas from the original trilogy that never made the final cut, and that George wanted to use many concepts by Ralph McQuarrie in the film. Ralph's ideas are huge in the movie thanks to George Lucas. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, first things first, I want to go over Palpatine. Now, you guys may recall that over at Star Wars Celebration, Kathleen Kennedy stated that Palpatine was in the cards ever since The Force Awakens, or at least that's what she claims, right? A lot of people are thinking that maybe that's a cover-up because of the Rise of Skywalker, or should I say the Last Jedi Backlash, and how that would possibly affect the Rise of Skywalker if they didn't include a character like Palpatine. To me, it really seems like that they included Palpatine last minute while they were writing the script over a year ago. Now, with that being said, with that, being in place here, George Lucas was the one responsible to bring Palpatine back in a specific way that he wanted to, and that's what Disney and Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, and JJ allowed him to do. And I think that I really do trust what George has to do with Palpatine, given that he did approve many of the stories in Dark Empire and other stories related to Palpatine in the EU that honestly were pretty good. I know that there's some people out there that dislike Dark Empire, but Dark Empire is a very interesting comic line about the clones of Palpatine and his spirit living on. But there's a lot of word here of course, Palpatine being used in a similar way in The Rise of Skywalker. So, moving past this, George Lucas was also the one that allowed tons of Ralph McQuarrie concepts to make its way into The Rise of Skywalker. Now, this lines directly up with what we heard over a year ago as well, is that a lot of Ralph McQuarrie's art is going to be a part of Episode 9, and that George Lucas was a part of that decision. Now, what I like about that is that if you guys go ahead and check out Ralph McQuarrie's art of the original ideas of, let's say, for example, Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back, you can see a lot of really cool ideas in there that could really be modernized for a current Disney Star Wars movie of the era that they're trying to go for. And I think the fact that, JJ let George did what he wanted to do with this movie, all because of Ralph McQuarrie's art and his concepts making its way into The Rise of Skywalker, I think is yet another reason to be excited for this movie. It's one of the main reasons as to why we got Darth Vader's castle in Rogue One of Star Wars Stories, because of Ralph McQuarrie. Now, with that being said, the other thing is that a lot of the original ideas, the original drafts, or the original scripts, if you will, of the original trilogy, made its way into The Rise of Skywalker. They were used as inspirational material for Episode 9, which could also explain as to why, we have Rey and Kylo Ren somewhat mimicking both, Luke and Leia fighting off Palpatine in a different way. There were actual original ideas in Return of the Jedi where Leia and Luke would battle Palpatine in his throne room. It seems like that is exactly what George is trying to do here between both Kylo and Rey fighting Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker. So you can already see the similarities and how they're really kind of just using the original ideas from the original scripts of the past films and incorporating it into Episode 9. Now, some people may view that as lazy for JJ, and that's perfectly fine. I could totally understand that, but it's all a matter of how it's going to come off, right? How it's all going to be executed. You have to throw in some original ideas as well as a creator, as a writer and director, right? So, with that being said, guys, I will say that I'm still very optimistic about this film. I cannot wait to see the final trailer that's due for release this October, followed by the series of TV spots that we're actually going to get in late October, leading into the month of November, throughout the month of December as well. So, hopefully they don't spoil the actual footage too much, like with what they did with The Last Jedi, where you could basically piece together of what's happening in order, like actually in order, beat for beat. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.